Hi, I'm Kingsley Cocker. I come from Logan in Brisbane City, Australia, and here I am in India in my hotel room a day away from travelling back to Australia. I've had the privilege of having a knee replacement surgery. I found that being an immigrant to Australia, my health insurance wasn't able to cover the awful expense of having surgery in Australia. The Australian health system wasn't able to cater for me. I couldn't even get an orthopaedic appointment in the state service. I had to pay for see a private orthopaedic surgeon to understand what was going wrong with my knee, which had been giving me problems over several years leading up to the last 18 months, where I've had severe pain. And I discovered that while it was described as arthritic, I really had no cartilage on one part of the knee and very little cartilage on the other side of my knee. I was handicapped with what I was doing. I was unable to complete the work I was doing in Australia, and it was pretty obvious that I was several years out from getting assistance in Australia to have this done and being able to afford to do it by the time my medical insurance kicked in as a new arrival in Australia. So, research. I heard about people having all types of things happen to them as far as improving their health and condition in Southeast Asia. Got onto the net and found a company, Global Health, who operated out of Australia and Thailand, I believe, as well, who were able to put me on to a couple of hospitals in India that catered for orthopaedic surgery. So once I knew about them, I also then started doing some research about, well, who are these people in India doing this? India is such a huge place and has this massive its problems in its own right. How are they going to have the opportunity to treat me? So there I found very, very quickly that people are travelling around the world to places like Germany, Israel, Turkey, and India. And India's ranked third for orthopaedic surgery and success they were having, and particularly through what I understand now is Fortis Healthcare, Fortis for the commercial, Fortis Healthcare, and I've ended up through a bit of work coming to India and having a replacement knee. Global Health Travel, they are the people who looked after this for me. They were able to contact their agents in India, the Mirage Group, and the Mirage Group sent for my details of my knee, which I was able to send x-rays and a scan, which I'd had to pay for in Australia, through to them. They contacted surgeons in India and were able to make make my decision a lot easier by sending me a person who was able to do this. So with that information from the Mirage Group, I did my research as I've mentioned, was able to find that the surgeon in charge of orthopaedics here in Gurgaon, just south of New Delhi, is just the best. He's one of the best. I'm not saying he's the greatest, but he is spot on. I found the chap to be absolutely approachable. He's got a marvellous sense of humour. He gives you absolute confidence in what he's about to do with you. And of course, being a new visitor to India, I was quite fearful of coming to a new culture and not having the language skills. But the Mirage Group were able to provide me with a support gentleman called a concierge, and that just sat beautifully. He was through a contract through the Mirage Group, and Fortis. I was picked up at the airport, brought to my hotel, very close to the hospital, transported me to the hospital, met the surgeon, checked out my knee. Yes, this knee is not good. And within 24 hours, I had a new knee. Within 24 hours of arriving, I was walking on my knee on the same day. They had me up rehabilitating myself, and I've had physio now for just over 2 weeks. I'm able to walk, hobble. I still have some swelling, but it was to be expected, and I'm really confident when I go back to Australia, in perhaps another month to 6 weeks' time, I'm going to be taking a full part in active life, and I just can't recommend this enough, and I'm quite happy to lend my name to the Mirage Group if people would like to contact me by email to give any more personal experience or answer questions.